Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the 13th of December 2023. By the way, we are 17 days to the end of 2023 and we thank God for the gift of life. Ladies and gentlemen, the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is a scared man over the changing political landscape in Mount Kenya. And because I can say that he's staring at the biggest political test that can even bring down his political career. And I'm wondering whether he will be able to withstand this. Because contrary to public pronouncements in church events that Riggy is not interested on Mount Kenya kingpinship, his actions and some of the agendas he's pursuing are actually contradicting that position. And I don't think this time round he'll be able to survive this. Mount Kenya leaders who trooped behind William Ruto in the 2022 presidential election, but the hope of getting greener pastures, have been pushed to the periphery and are plotting coup against Rigathi Gachagua in Mount Kenya. And the desperate attempt to stifle or rather to suppress political movements in the mountain are actually proving to be futile. Over the weekend, I want to share with you some very exclusive videos here. I know most of us have seen it, but those who are non-Kikuyu maybe did not get the gist of it. I've seen people just sharing without really the right captions. And I decided to take time and get someone to interpret some statements from three leaders, Moses Kuria, Ferdinand Waititu, and William Kabogo. Over the weekend, they attended a function and some fundraiser of an evangelist from Kiambu. And the statements they made there have actually been attracting reaction from the larger part of Mount Kenya. And in this podcast, we are going to look at why the DP must change tact, because things seems to have changed. Waititu, a man who supported William Ruto because he believes Uhuru Kenyatta ejected him as the Kiambu governor unceremoniously and was facing grave corruption cases, is actually saying and is telling the President Ruto. And he was asking him, what is the difference between you and Uhuru Kenyatta? And he's saying that if he's not going to be able to maybe reach hit, and he really hit William Ruto about failed campaign promises and also countering the fake Mungiki narrative that the DP seems to have hatched with a section of elected women leaders in the mountain. I wanted to listen to Baba Yao, and with that translation there.
Can you imagine? Where are Murarutire Jesse, the Muleta Jesse? Reumai Karera ite Maka Geke. Like I demuere, Mamma Kedokemwe, Kugoke Ugakueta Mogeke, Atemakeweta Mesuki, Idueto eta Niejo Dare Buke. Mesuki or Agira and Lakamakiri Magiridano. Modo agotorika ni horo ikusiana ke agiro hotoma agiro ya dage shoga netorai guidania asio marugete horo anake itote no moragwo magiro ya damagekatia mageshoga naguo todo gotire hede toke marutira wero ucio murarutire maikarera ite majeria te kugainyo mwe mugeke na ni ondo marona aterere mamwereire mawera mamwereire mbeca cia hasura fund na makeriganirwo atene magekindu mamwireire no reke inde mwire mahitia ne gucokera neguo nie ni wona uria nie ndahenirio utari urona Waititu nduri wona mundu henetio ne turaiguithania tondu nie ndatoire ugo Kiambu ngiuga Ruto no igua hindi akinya nda muthenya uria ndanyitirwo twatindite nake ndege-ini yake no igua riu ni ariganirwo atiriri ate ndanyitagwo ni undu wake na ndarutirwo ofici ni undu wake no naguo andu aria mekeriganirwo ta acio Nĩ twaiguithania mokaga mahĩtũkĩte. Nĩ twaiguithania na tondũ nĩ tũĩ ũrĩa andũ marĩte thĩna. Thaa ici o ũguo Kabogo arauga haha ũkuongerera maguta nĩ wongerera indo cio. Na tondũ atongoria itu arĩa twĩ nao ngwĩciria maikara kuure nao matiramahe ũhoro wega. Tũkwenda gũtũma Moses mũmũthĩ mena junior haha Ngaruia junior mamere andũ arĩa maranegena thaa ici nĩ arĩa mamahũrĩire kura. Ithuĩ tũtiarĩ Azimio kana atĩa inyuĩ mũrĩ Azimio. Andũ arĩa maranegena nĩ arĩa marĩ UDA na niĩ ndĩmatongoretie niĩ ndaumire UDA. Rĩu niĩ ndirĩ wa UDA njikarĩte o ũguo temporary oro ũguo na ningĩ.
So that is Ferdinand Waititu. In the same event, you know, I listened to Kabogo. And Kabogo spoke before inviting Moses Kuria. You know, I think it was the MC, if I'm not wrong, and was telling the residents of Ruto, that event was in Ruto Stadium. He was telling the residents that they should not heckle Moses Kuria, but they should heckle any other cabinet secretary that will go there. And he was saying whenever any state official goes to Kiambu, tries to speak to them, they should tell them about Unga. And saying very well that they are not going to keep quiet as the taxes are being increased. So this is what Kabogo said, and this is a snippet of what he said with the translation.
Mwana Moses Kuria ha muleke aria mutikagiria ni mundu mwega ni njamba itu natwaiguana no hage kinya CS ungi na MP mutikareke marie ne turaiguana ndacio matuhatereirie twe hakuhi kunyua thakame ne muraigua mathio makere Ruto enough na dirari otuko dirari ya muthenya ndigerua rege ne turaiguana wahaisia betoro wahaisia mutu wahaisia dawa wahaisia kira kindu na mwena mũmbunge ũgwĩtwo Kĩng'ara kũrĩa kũngĩ kwĩna mũmbunge ũgwĩtwo Icũng'wa andũ acio mamahe notice handũ raiyerĩ matikanakinye ne turaiguana handũ raiyerĩ matikaneke atĩa tũtikirĩte nĩ guoya ithuĩ tũtirĩ nja nĩ kwaga gũthurwo nĩ kũiywo na maiya matihiria njarie.
You will understand Kuria, who was also at that event, gave a statement and was actually saying something that has been so consistent about. That if indeed Rigathi Gachagua, Mary Maua, and that caucus believes there is something called Bungiki in Mount Kenya, then no one should even think about killing them, because almost 5,000 youths died, were killed in the hands of the police under the guise of being members of that Mungiki sect. So when that Mungiki movement was being swept, so many youths, vulnerable youths that were even innocent, lost lives, were killed by security officers. And Moses Kuria is saying that John Michuki got many things right. But in the issue of Mungiki, if someone is believed to be a member of Mungiki, Ruto is a man who believes in the rule of law, and they should follow the law so that innocent Mount Kenya youth is not killed. That is what Moses Kuria said. Now, the same day, just a day after that, during the Mashujaa Day, during the Jamhuri Day celebrations, the Nyeri County Commissioner banned a Maina Njenga event that was supposed to be held in Nyeri on 31st of December. And you know, just to create the euphoria, I realized Maina Njenga had been saying that that event was going to be attended by Uhuru Kenyatta, even though Uhuru Kenyatta handlers maintained that Maina Njenga is just using Uhuru Kenyatta's name to drive his own agenda. And you will also understand that since Maina Njenga was attracting crowds, was attending events by some events that were organized by, he organized events with musicians and was pulling crowds. It disturbed Rigathi Gachagua. And this is what Rigathi said. Rigathi gave orders for that Maina Njenga event to be banned, and was also, while attending a function by Samido, was also saying that they should not allow Maina Njenga to grace the events.
I want to plead with our artists, be very careful. Don't allow yourselves to be misused and your functions to be hijacked by people of dubious character, with a bad history, and who scare women away from your functions. If you find an occasion of 5,000 people without a single woman, that is not a place where you should be. So I want to thank you, Samido, because your function is full of women. They are even more than us. This is a very dignified sitting of serious people. Mimi nataka kuomba wasanii, tafadhali, namuomba my brothers and sisters, msitumiwe vibaya. Hawa wanajaribu kutumia nyinyi. Mnajua vile walitumia vijana wetu and what became of our children. They are trying to come back through you. Mnasema iko ceremony ya muibaji fulani inakuja na kuwa hijacked na hiyo watu. Na mumeona viongozi wameanza kumuondokea. Wafanyabiashara wameanza kumuondokea. Mtabaki kwa mataa. Sisi tutaenda pahali iko kama hii ya kina mama wako, wazee wako, vijana wako. Tunaona hiyo ni kikao ya heshima ambaye ni ya maana na ni kitu mzuri ya kupanga mambo ya mbele. Mimi nataka kuambia kina mama usikuwe na wasiwasi. Hiyo kikundi hatuwezi kubali kuja kusubua mama. Wameanza kurudi kusubua watu ya biashara. Ati saa hii ati ukuwa mfanyabiashara ati lazima uandike wakulinde biashara yako, usihangaishwe na hao vijana. Na mimi nimemwambia county commander, wewe ulinde watu. Kwa nini watu walindwe na hiyo vijana? Protect people's businesses. This is a country of the rule of law. Kwa nini mwenye supermarket aende kutafuta vijana ati walinde duka yake, asihangaishwe na vijana wa hiyo kundi haramu? Kwa nini waende stage waanze kuchukua pesa ya watu ya matatu na wewe iko? Can you make sure, please, that people are able to do their work without disturbance from those young men, and you follow the law and protect the people, because that is your work. Kuna watu naongea mambo mingi, mambo ya uchumi, mambo ya cost of living. Hata nyinyi mnajua pahali tulikuta nchi ya Kenya imefika, na tunangangana kuirudisha kwa laini. Mambo ilikuwa ngumu sana, lakini imeanza kuwa nzuri. Kwa hivyo nataka kuuliza tu mkuwe na subra kidogo tu, mambo itakuwa sawa. Na tuko na mambo mingi ambayo tumepanga, na hivi karibuni mtaanza kuona hii. Kwa hivyo mkuwe watu ya subra.
So, and it was actually saying that events that are held and no woman attends, you know, sometimes I listen to Rigathi and I'm like, does he even listen to himself? Surely, you know, there's some things that you even wonder. So, public gatherings seems to have been banned in Mount Kenya. So, the narrative that Rigathi cooked with these Mount Kenya women about Mungiki seems to be backfiring on him, because the Kabogo, Kuria, and Ferdinand Waititu, a section of leaders, are saying Mount Kenya youth that are employed should not be branded Mungeke. Yes. And I've been consistent saying about this, that you cannot, the Mungeke issue is not a story to be told in churches. It is not a news just to explain in these streets. For this story even to get traction, you must show us cases where people have been mugged, where some youths have gone to people's shops and asking for, soliciting funds for protection. I think you need to create case scenario, case by case scenario. You don't just need to rush into call some funny press briefings in a corner. Then you start saying, you know what, there is Mungiki. Where are they? And surely it doesn't exist. And I think those that are handling Rigathi Gachagwa's political moves should be creative. A bit more creative, because the charge is changing. And every other aspect, his approach in Mount Kenya, I don't think is going to yield some fruit. And, he said he's not interested in being the kingpins, but then what is all this? And you remember, that clip when he's giving orders to the county commission, I'm like, what is that? What are that order? I think county commissioner is under the office of the president or even CS Interior. But then him is giving orders. Of course, one government approach, what do I say? And Radiomaisha also ordered a police boss to be fired, or rather to be moved from one police station to the other. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you why Mount Kenya is not very easy for Rigathi. Because of these 4 factors. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our video. I want to report that just today in the morning, I managed to speak with the family of Julius Kamau, the guy who was arrested yesterday. I think they did this video, and we are told he was released. According to the report that we have, that he was released. And of course, yeah, sometimes when something happens, yesterday I think we were lobbying. There was all that push from the social media corridors that no, kama amefanya makosa, the guy who interrupted William Ruto's speech at Jamhuri, apelekwe kotini. But then I think they realized there is no need, because they will actually amplify the story. 4 reasons. Number 1, Rigathi, as per now, must understand that Mount Kenya leaders have declined to converge around him. They have declined. Even though there have been attempts, you will see nowadays, Kimani Ichung'wah is attending events with the president. Just over the weekend, the deputy president was in Embu, and he has gone to Embu I think like twice. He was in Embu, then Kimani Ichung'wah was with the president somewhere I think in Kiambu. Then Ndindi Nyoro cannot attend a function with the deputy president if the president is not there. In fact, does not take directions from the deputy president. And I think they got much annoyed when the DP said that they should not talk to Ruto direct, if not through him. So that seems to have failed. If the only space remaining for deputy president is the Nyeri, Kirinyaga and Embu in Meru, the MPs have actually are forming an alliance with the Ukambani side. And they're saying that for long, the Mount Kenya West side, the Gikuyu side, have played them. So Meru are saying, we can form a political alliance with our neighbors from the Ukambani side. What does that tell you? What that tells you clearly is, these leaders are not going to converge around deputy president. And so, if Rigathi believes that he wants to deliver the game of vote to Uhuru Kenyatta, to William Ruto, then that's not guaranteed. And all these other antics, they're not going to yield fruit. They can only have traction if everyone is listening to him. But that is far from what exactly is happening. Number 2, disgruntled forces are regrouping. I want to repeat. There are people like Kabogos. There are people like I saw the other day, Lee Kinyanjui, who are pushed out. I saw now Waititu. Waititu is very popular, by the way. He was a governor there. And a host of other leaders. Even an MP, the other day, Fafi MP from Northeastern, was actually harassed. We are seeing an MP being beaten by the police in your house. So these people are regrouping, because it is very true that they have been pushed out. The positions have been dished out. They have no way. UDA is not as much strong as it was in 2022. And these fellows are saying, we can push our way. If you want to see this regrouping, look at what Martha Karua is doing with the Kamwene. Kamwene is becoming as one of the open forums, that can absorb all these fellows that you're seeing here. So that is second aspect why Rigathi must change. the approach. Number 3, Uhuru axis is back in the political reign. And I know a lie has been told and a narrative has been sold and floated in public that if Uhuru supported Raila and never delivered presidency to Raila, what can Uhuru do? And I've seen Mtaani saying, you know what, Uhuru failed to do. And I'm like, look here, I'm one person who believes Uhuru did what he was to do. Yes, Uhuru did what he was to do. The reason why Raila did not become president is beyond, is more complex than just a simple pedestrian thought that Uhuru never delivered. I think Uhuru never delivered. I think I leave that to some fellows, I don't know, can't even describe. I leave that to some very quacks somewhere. But then the truth of the matter here is, when Uhuru axis is back in the political reign, the Jubilee is active. And Uhuru brings also political machinery in terms of campaign funding. Yes. If it happens that if Uhuru says, Kabogo, Rudy, Waititu, Rudy, Nani, Rudy, all these people come back to the ring and they are funded to vie. Yes, it cannot be business as usual. Or even that disgruntled Meru. For example, let me ask you, if he manages to sponsor some few gays here and there, Meru will be gone. So Uhuru back in the political is also a distracting factor, because for Mount Kenya they're like, so where do we allege? Where do we take our allegiance? Because our people are suffering, but we told them Uhuru was wrong and so was right. So where do we take our allegiance? So Uhuru coming back in the political field seems also to have changed a lot of things. Number 4, that is number 4. The Mungiki narrative is a forced fallacy without tangible support. I may be wrong, but even Ruto and Kindiki do not see the Kindiki thing, the Mungiki thing that Rigathi and a host of those women MPs are talking about. I've not seen, Ruto has gone to Mountain. He was in Mount Kenya recently. He's not talking about Mungiki. Kimani Ichung'wah is a man that is also been pro Mount Kenya. He's not talking about the Mungiki. Ndindi Nyoro. I think amongst all these politicians, one politician that spends more time in Mount Kenya than any other politician is Ndindi Nyoro. Every Sunday, he not necessarily attends an event by the president, but organizes his own events, and he's been attending those, and he's been in Mount Kenya. He's not been talking about this Mungiki. So that Mungiki, that forced Mungiki fallacy is a standalone political narrative that doesn't have traction. So forget about that thing. Drop it. In fact, hiyo story ya kwenda kukaza macho into a church that, you know what, there is Mungiki. There is no Mungiki in Mount Kenya. You know, these stories would have been, we have media all over. We are in a digital space where people have phones. If there are some young people that are harassing women in Mount Kenya, we could have been seeing those videos. You know, so that story is not there. Drop it and look for something else. Otherwise, it will turn against you, because this courier access are saying, don't kill our youths under something that does not exist. But you're insisting that crack the whip. Crack down on what? You crack what does not exist. Thank you guys. Thank you for that. I can do your feedback. There is an expose about what's happening, some salary exaggerations. I want us to look at that in our next podcast. So make sure you subscribe and also share this video. Santeni. Welcome guys to the bold. So my name is Kevin, as you know. I'm in Donom in a place hotel the Onk Cuisine. So the Onk Cuisine is a hotel that is owned by one of our members of this channel here, and I'm here to promote, you know. Very interesting. So I need to take time to sample for you what's around. This is fish, fresh tilapia from the lake. This one goes at 450. Then on this is half of this, goes at 250. So it's the same. Then this is one of the best. It's called Athola. This is Athola. Athola is nyama ambayo imechomwa, alafu ikishachomwa inakuwa boiled. So it's a bit of an amazing one. For those people who know Athola, you need to come here and sample. The other end is Mota. Now, this one ought to be hapa mbele yangu because this is my best, and kwa hii meza yote yangu ni hii. Mbuta. For those people who know Mbuta is hii ainanga mfupa, by the way. You will really struggle to get mfupa around this place. So what am I saying? You need to come here and promote this lady. She's doing amazing food here, and you don't need to worry because I'm going to pin her number so that if you're within Nairobi, so long as you're within Nairobi and you feel like you want to, what an amazing place. Make sure you contact her and she's going to deliver to you, of course, at a fee. So that you make sure that you do an amazing. So guys, I want to see how we can support those who are members of the board and you are in Donom and Umoja and its environs. Make sure you come here. Kayole, yes. Make sure you come here and promote this business. But now Mimi, I think maybe 2 minutes.
I have not finished.
Like you can eat two. So you
can ignore it.
I can ignore pork.
Yeah.
Sawa. Mtu anataka pork bwana. Pork si anunue kwa butcher.